Thank you all for tuning in with us on today. I'm Candy,
I'm Kendra Michelle.
I'm Courtney.
I'm Donta.
and welcome to
Chatty Catties.
Again, you guys, thank you so much. Please, those who are tuning in with us today, please subscribe. Yes, subscribe to our YouTube channel. Also, check us out on Facebook. That's Chatty Catties. And then we're also on Instagram at chatty_catties_. And then just, guys, please subscribe to our channel.
Click like.
So today, ladies, I want to discuss the whole thing with Kanye West. So I was looking at TMZ Live, and he said a lot of things on that show, but what stood out the most and what people are talking about the most is when he made the statement of slavery being a choice. So when he said that, I was just I was taken back from it, and I was just like, what did he say? Because in my opinion, I was offended.
Correct.
Because I am a fan of Kanye and I do, enjoy his music. But when he made a statement like that, I was just feeling like, okay, he's entitled to his own opinion. He's entitled to feel how he want to feel, fine, whatever. However, it's not showing sincerity to the people that had went through that whole situation of slavery. Right. And people back then did not have a choice. Right. Now, he's stating that people over these hundreds of years had a choice, and they did not have a choice. Right. And by him being a black man to say something like that, I was appalled, I was offended. Now his music comes on, I don't even listen to it. Right. And that's just my opinion.
I don't know if I was necessarily offended by what he said.
Not to mention he's pro-Trump. I'm going to point that out there too.
I don't think I was necessarily offended by either that he's pro-Trump or his statement. Being pro-Trump is his political choice. As far as the statement that he made, I'm not going to lie, I did not watch the full interview. I refuse to give that much of my time away to Kanye and TMZ, I'm not going to lie. I did watch snippets and get more than what they had showed. Right. And unfortunately, it sounded like he was trying to go somewhere and convey a point. However, his wording was horrible. Right, his wordplay was because it sounds as if he wanted to use the analogy of how we're slaves today to the way our mindset is. However, when you make a bold statement like, you mean tell me for 200 years and that's not a choice? That's where the big problem came in with his statement, because he really was just saying slaves in their mind.
Are you defending what he said?
No, I'm saying what I picked up from it. We all looked at it, got different views. What I picked up from it was he was going somewhere.
Where was he going?
He was trying to say subliminally that slavery is a mental thing. Right. However, when he made the bold statement, when he put the time frame for 200, I think he said 200 plus years, 400 plus years, he was like, that sounds like a choice to me. That's what he said. That's where it was like, oh, Kanye, what? He fell off the train. And after that, you couldn't even hear the rest of the message he said because his wording.
Right. My initial take on it, I didn't watch the whole interview. I just saw it in, mainstream media. TMZ is a tabloid company. So my initial reaction is, I don't trust TMZ. What if they cut out certain things he said?
The man was literally on the show.
Going back and forth with him.
Yes.
Right. But
and I'm not saying I trust TMZ. However, Kanye West said what he said.
But I don't know what exactly he said, because
they edited and they clip.
The context of what he could have said it in could have been something totally different. Maybe he did misword or say something initially that we were shocked about.
And he didn't even give him a chance to correct his blab. And then on top of that, at the end of the day, his wife is Kim Kardashian, no shade, but the man know how to get the spotlight. He has an album about to drop, honey. If you don't know that's Mr. Show Out King, then I don't know if you know Kanye.
And I'm never, I mean,
snatching mics out of people's hands.
Artist, musician, anything like that. I'm not going to go with their first word, because, like we were saying, Kanye is big on throwing something out there to get you to clutch your pearls, and then he got an album coming out.
Look at his name buzzing everywhere.
So
we talked
that
about
in itself made me think his first thing was he got an album coming out. Maybe he's trying to catch somebody's attention. Maybe the media is cutting out things that we probably would have put the pieces together and realized, okay, he may have worded that wrong. he may have been going in this direction, but they stopped it because Kanye is known for starting drama. So we're going to continue to spew this drama. I wasn't there in the interview. I wasn't there when he said it literally. So I can't say I'm appalled at you. I don't know what Kanye lives like. And that's your choice. Right. But my thing is Kanye.
It was offensive. It was ignorant.
Making money.
It was offensive.
It's not affecting me directly because I'm not buying his albums. I'm not looking for Kanye. I ain't friends with Kim Kardashian. So Kanye can say whatever he wants. He's not coming out of my pockets. He's not coming out of my household.
And I hope it helps him in the way that he wanted it to help him, because us hating him or being offended by him doesn't hurt him whatsoever. But what it does is, like I said, his wife is Kim Kardashian.
And it keeps
they're the queens of, before they had a talent, quote unquote, because they're great businesswomen. Don't get me wrong. They are very intelligent. I don't care what the media try to tag them as, but honey, they get money. And they get money because they're businesswomen. And what they did was that branding. They're the queens of branding. They branded themselves. They started makeup companies. They started clothing companies all over, spreading rumors about themselves.
But didn't nobody know who Kim was until she had that tape. I didn't know who she was.
That's the point. That's what she's saying.
She had
who leaked the tape.
She wasn't getting money until she had that tape.
Well, no, she came from money. She always had it.
I'm talking about her
but
money.
making her own money.
That's what I'm saying.
But what did that do for her? You said, who's Kim? Because Kim said, look at Kim.
Right. But I didn't know who she was until
she said, look at Kim.
Until she had that
She leaked it, though.
I don't know who she was.
But see, I guess you're missing that she strategically built her name for herself. Exactly. Every time you've looked at Kim, it's because Kim said, look at me. That's why when the whole robbery thing happened, it was like, well, did it happen or did they make it up? Because they're the queens of, we will make sure you don't miss a beat on us.
And Kanye
why?
West
Because it's my money.
care less if you like him or dislike him, because guess
That's
what?
true.
We're talking about him right now.
Right.
That's all he wants.
So this is what I
That's all he wants.
And if he came on Chatty Catties, he'd help us.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like,
so from what I understand, I did a little research. So Kanye West made the statement that, you know, we have a choice to be in slavery. You know, 400 years, we have a choice. He was speaking meaning mentality. That, yeah, of course we didn't have a choice 400 years ago to be shackled and, you know, and bought over. He was saying that some people still think the same way as slavery from 400 years ago. They didn't even show that part. They just cut it off at the first part he said.
Which is what
so
media
that's
does.
where all the controversy comes from, because they never shared that part. He had to come back out and clear up his statement. And of course, you know, when Kanye does something, as we know, he'll throw something out there, let it linger, and then he'll clean it up. So he was basically saying that there's a lot of people who are still stuck in the slave mentality. They don't want to think outside the box. They don't want to think new ways and see new ways of doing things. Like right now, he's like, this whole thought process is outside the norm. That's what people should be doing. We should not still be stuck in our old way of thinking from 400 years ago when we were enslaved and when things were, we were only allowed to, you know, think and do certain things. But all of that was shut.
You know the point that I seen somebody
didn't even
make?
hear about it because they only focused on the part about him saying we had a choice. He said we have a choice of how we think now. We don't have to think.
Somebody
that way.
made a good point,
But
that sometime when, you know, what I would call elevated, sometime when you have a deeper understanding of things, you can't talk to the masses like that. But like I said, I don't think that his problem is that he thought everybody was going to understand him.
Right.
That wasn't the problem. He understood that somebody was going to get it sideways, and that's cool because that just brought me a little more, because I mean he's controversial, like that's him.
His job is to
Everything
catch your
about him has always been controversial. So in you know, in an instance when you do have an understanding that it seems like he may have, when you talk to the masses, you talk to the masses. You don't talk to the minority of people who's going to understand you. You know what I mean? That's just like somebody with a big vocab. You know what? You can get up here and you can floss your big vocab, but when you walk off stage, who really understood you? Did you get your message across? And that's where I was like, you know, that's a really good point. But at the end of the day, I do believe it's a smut magazine. They wanted controversy. Now, I don't think that, well, I don't know. I won't even say I don't think that. Could the whole banter between him and the TMZ worker be real or fake? It could be real or it could be fake. And even if it was real, just like you said, I'm offended. If I don't understand where you're going, or if I just didn't care to hear you past that point, shut up, you stupid. And now we're arguing. And like you said, the interview clearly continued because they cut it off. And so for him to, because he had started to address the young man and explain to him what was going on, we didn't get the explanation. Like like you said, he left it out there enough for it to bang. You know what I mean?
And then he
like
cleaned it up, right?
Make Kanye great again, and all like what? First of all, if I was him, and I'm pretty sure he's probably somewhere working on it, like, if you coin your name, somebody's gonna pay me for this hat. You feel what I'm saying? Like, so it's like he banged, but we're all looking at Kanye. Like, I mean,
I can't believe he said that.
And every
I
like
can't.
he never moves out the spotlight though.
Would you have felt different if he'd have said the whole statement that some people are still stuck in the slave mentality as far as thinking 400 years ago? If he'd have said that statement altogether, you wouldn't have been offended.
But I heard him say that statement, and I'm still offended.
So
I'm still appalled at the fact that he can say, being a slave or slavery is a choice. I'm still offended.
He was saying mentality because there are some people who are still stuck there and who don't.
I still don't agree
But
with
this
what
is
he
my
said.
thing.
Right, but I'm saying if someone else, okay, let's say not Kanye, but if someone else had made a statement that says there are a lot of people in the world who are still stuck in slavery mentality, would that have offended you?
Yes.
So for me to say slavery is a choice, but my big thing is this. If you apply logic, logically, you can't say that shackles and mass abuse and inhabitable conditions were a choice. You know what I mean? That my thing is, if you listen for understanding, that's my big thing. Even when a person is, I don't want to say stupid, but I call people stupid a lot because stupid is a pet peeve of mine.
My husband says, capture what counts.
So, exactly. Mr. Ambition, capture what counts. Sometime when you're listening to somebody, even somebody who you may think is stupid intellectually or just stupid in this
or ignorant
moment,
in certain areas, right?
Ignorant, whatever, if you just pay attention enough to get this. Me and my son was having an argument in the car. Well, not in the car, argument at the park yesterday, where he said something, but he meant something else. Right. Now, in that moment, I had no way of knowing the other thing that he meant, because what he said it in reverse. And I was like, how was I supposed to know that, though? You know what I mean? I was like, but that's what you meant? And sometime, like he said, well, you could have just said, okay. And I was like, I could have. So sometime, well, not even sometime, when you're listening to people, being an investigator is important. Like, if you're listening to get an understanding, you will get an understanding. Like, that's my big thing
and
with us in general. If you listen to get an understanding.
Celebrities in themselves.
You just can't trust them.
You have to get the bigger picture of everything, because the media is designed to tailor things how they want the story to go. Mm-hmm. So you got to research. You got to see so you can find out all the information before you make a decision. In my mind, it is slave mentality for us to immediately jump on him because we think his view is wrong.
It is wrong.
And that's your opinion.
But there's no right or wrong.
You know what I mean? Well, let me say, in my
there's
opinion,
no right or wrong.
It is wrong.
But do we crucify him for having that opinion?
That's his opinion, even if he meant how he said it.
I think
it's his own. He can have that.
I think that even though it's his own opinion, and he has the right to say what he want to say and feel how he want to feel, whatever. In my opinion, the man is wrong.
So yeah, like, I mean, at the end of the day,
and that's it.
Right. That's
in my opinion. Right. Y'all have y'all opinion. My opinion, he's wrong.
In my opinion,
and I don't agree or disagree with him.
I don't like the part of him saying, we had a choice as far as in the slavery part. But if he says a choice as far as mentality, how you think, that part I do agree with. Because there are some people who are stuck in a certain mind. They won't change. They don't want to see life outside of that box. They just want to, this is it, and that's the only way.
Because if I'm clear,
that's not true.
I said that I don't trust celebrities because I don't believe the things. Basically, there's a lot of, I always tell people, same thing with Facebook. There's a difference between reality and fantasy called entertainment. Me, myself, being an entertainer, I've done things like share my page and say, oh, if you want the juice, come here. You know what I mean? Just, I'm about to I'm about to give you the tea. Right. You know what I mean? Because it's a ploy. I'm selling something. Right. You know what I mean? Like, I want you to come to my page and I want you to book me. Whatever. Like, that's my job. And so we don't understand that that's their job. And at the end of the day, if the man really truly believed that shackles and chains was a choice, he's entitled to that. And I agree with her that, like, the biggest thing that I see as a human race is, and we're indifferent to differences. Like, we really don't care for different.
Unless that difference is the same as us.
Which ain't different.
Not different.
You see what I'm saying? Like, I've been somebody on the other end of different, like, you know, how flamboyantly I dress in my hair. Before there was a 2 Chainz and before Afrocentricity was trending, I was different. And I was looked at like, why don't you comb your hair? Why you got the bright colors on? But now, different is trending, so everybody's trying to be out the box. Right, yeah. So therefore, just like Conscious, before there was a Kendrick Lamar and a J. Cole and Chance, you see what I'm saying? Right. It wasn't cool to be like, look at the under meaning of that. So I'm for a free thinker, is hoorah to you. You know what I mean? Like, I love to see weirdos and just people who dare to be, like I said, to be free, even if your free is quote unquote wrong or unorthodox would be the word, and it does not mean that it's wrong. It's just not the norm, because he's a free thinker. Like, that's one thing I will give the man, as controversial as he is.
He's definitely a free thinker.
He's a free thinker.
But what if that outlandish thought is what gets him to get people where they need to go?
Before he make the wrong decisions, he gotta, before you make the right decisions, or BKA, before you reach success, you gotta fail. So therefore, on these rants that he goes on, because he do, he's a free thinker at the end of the day. Don't kill him for deciding to see another way, because we need them. Everybody who has ever done anything great, we need free thinkers.
Radical beings.
Because we would still be in slavery if nobody decided, hey, we're not animals. We shouldn't be in chains. Right. We are just like you, and I'm finna fight for these equal rights as white and black alike, who got aside and said, no, this is not right. If they would have been in the box thinkers, hey, this is just the way it is, we'll still be in slavery. So a free thinker to me is somebody who dares to say, nah, I don't agree with that.
Okay, or think
all of y'all think this way, but not me. And I'm going to go. We flying in the air right now. They told the Wright brothers they couldn't do that. Those are free thinkers.
There's nothing wrong with
every great thing we got is free thinkers.
I think if we look at it this way, you have Malcolm X and Dr. King. Both of them wanted the same thing. They just went about it different. For those who was not okay with getting hit on,
but they
and
both
still keep walking, and they was about, you know, fighting back, they supported Malcolm X. Those who didn't want to take, you know, who believed in nonviolence, took Dr. King. They both were fighting for pretty much the same thing. They just went about it differently.
And that's another example of the media too, because Malcolm X wasn't as, I'm finna go out and be in wreck shop as they say he was, but that's how they portrayed him.
Exactly. He said this, I mean, they were both saying the same message. It was just portrayed different. If Kanye's message would have been said by somebody else, let's see, Jay-Z. If Jay-Z just said, you know, we need to get our people, our brothers out of, or, you know, blacks out of the slavery mentality, it would have been received completely
or different people can do it different things.
Right.
I always say like a Rihanna versus not necessarily Beyonce, but somebody with a more wholesome view. Riri does what she wants. You feel what I'm saying? Like, she gets on tables, she pops on the headstand, because that's been her since day one. That's what we expect from her. So it's like, like I said, when he did it, we went up because we're just used to him. You know what I mean? That's just how we respond to Kanye. Could probably do something normal by now, and we'll still be like, is that Kanye recycling? Why is he recycling like that? Because that's, you know what I mean? Like, that's what he's built for himself. Like I said, I promise you he liked this, and I'm not telling you, because nobody likes being on the, necessarily being, scrutinized. However, when it does help you build, then I'll take it. You know, they always say what they say, if they ain't talking about you, you ain't doing it right way. So it's like, you know, I don't want mass scrutiny, but I do understand if my page go viral, which, hey y'all, we got 1.1K likes. I want to tell y'all that on Chatty Catties. I screenshotted them and put it in the groups. Like us on Facebook. I was like, hey, we did that. But if it's going to make me viral because somebody said something, I don't know, fake, a lie about me, or even the truth, and made y'all in drones come to my product,
then it worked out right.
Whoop, whoop. Money in the bank, because there's going to be people who come who is fighting for the underdog, who's just going to jump on my team for that, or they're going to come and find something they didn't think they was going to find, and they purchase. There's that light, unfortunately, brought the attention, and in this world, negative.
So you think that
gains
he said
more
what
light
he
than
said,
anything?
You think he said what he said was for attention?
We don't know.
See, attention is a girl. Attention is with a girl with a booty out who want likes. That ain't attention.
Talk about Kanye.
And Kanye said enough to get all
So
the attention.
So you think he didn't mean what he said? He just said it for attention?
No, I think he meant what he said, but I
said.
think the contents of what he said was taken wrong. Because I went
the way he allowed it to be portrayed.
I remember when this first happened.
I don't think the context of what he said. I don't. No.
Well, when it first happened, somebody sent me the video and was like, "Hey, check out this interview." So I was just like, "Okay," and I'm looking at it like, "Really, Kanye?" But then I saw more of the video, and then I heard him explain what he was stated as far as not so much.
So you listened to what we did listen to,
Right.
so you heard him explain.
So
it.
I heard him explain about it. Now, of course, as blacks, we're gonna be offended because you're saying that we had a choice. That right there, the fact that slavery is going to affect us some type of way. We're going to feel some type of way. That's the same way if he'd have said the same thing about the Holocaust. Jews would Barbie, like, are you kidding me? My grandmother went through this. So it was what he said, and he just paused, and then he carried on. They didn't play the second part. They only focused on, we had a choice.
Now, what part did you see?
I watched the video with him with Charlemagne where they was talking about his comment.
Breakfast Club, where they actually went over it.
Right, and they went over what he said. And he stated, he feels that, we had a choice, for slavery, meaning the mentality. And he goes on to say that.
But he said that same thing. Because I watched the one that was on TMZ Live.
I mean, TMZ,
he said that same thing.
Okay, but being a teacher.
It's a mentality. So the mentality is saying somebody who's, my parents are from the South. There are certain things, not so much my mom, my dad. He's very old school. He don't understand, like he's stuck in that mentality. We're not going to change him. And that's because that's the way that they were raised. That's what they were taught. I'm younger. I'm growing in the city. I think different. My daughter and them, your son, they think different. Completely different. So if somebody's still stuck in that mentality, not all of us, but there are some who are still stuck in that.
It's from slavery.
Old slavery mentality of thinking
I
of
get
how
it. That
do
makes
things.
sense.
And that's what he was basically saying. People don't want to be free. They don't want to think outside the box. He was like, right now, this is my free thought.
This is my free thought.
He was like, I got y'all thinking differently now because of what he said. And he does. He has us thinking outside. Not maybe so much you, but somebody who doesn't think outside the box is now thinking outside of the box. Because they're now, think about what he said. Oh, well, maybe.
Because even if you
heard
took
that one part.
I thought about it too in context of in our generation being in slavery and bondage, it would probably look a little bit different.
I was just about to say.
Because where we were raised, where we grew up, you know what I mean, our backgrounds, it would be different. You probably would have a lot more choice and opportunity to do things. We don't know, but we do know it's totally different from what happened. What did he say? 400 years ago? Is that the number he used? 400 years ago. We know that's totally different. And even if we, with our current mind state, our current mentality, were put in that situation, I said to myself, I probably wouldn't have survived as long as some of those other people. You know what I mean? So I thought about it in that context when I heard it.
Even if he meant literally back then, when slavery ended, there were slaves who had to be, that stayed. Okay? That stayed. Nope, not leaving massa. They didn't care what I don't care what got passed. I'm not leaving massa. I'm a slave. There were slaves who were in the midst of an escape, was like, y'all always see it in the plays, they're gonna leave you. I'm gonna leave you. You gonna leave here. I'm gonna leave you here dead. You either go with us or you die, because you're not gonna go tell on us. Then there were slaves who did choose death over slavery because they chose. So, and again, I decided to investigate, and my decision was it was taken out of context. But like I said, just because that's the type of thinker I am. But even if he meant it literally, it can be applied in all kind of ways. Like I said, I'm in no way defending Mr. Controversial himself. I am defending his free thought, though, because at the end of the day, he could have sat there and said the dumbest thing, because those who would follow him, either you a free thinker too, or you a drone and you don't even stand for what he stands for if you just followed him because he's Kanye. You know what I mean? You're not even, in my opinion, somebody who would follow me just because Danto or Wisdom says this is right or this is the way. You're not honoring me and my ways. You'll never be like me, because you're the problem, in my opinion, the masses. You know what I mean? That you're the problem. You're the person who just goes along until somebody says go right, to somebody say go left. You can never, if I'm mentoring you and everything is simply because I said so, and I can never get you to a point where you're, because I don't like woke is trending, that you're aware. You know what I mean? Aware that you can see another way, that you don't have to be affected by by if it's not name brand, then I don't look nice. You know what I mean? Like if I can't open your mind up to that, then I feel like I failed.
So we all know, on a piggyback to that slavery itself was the most horrific, the most traumatic, psychologically altering time period
that
in the history of African American people. We know that. You know, we don't want to discount that.
When I said I was offended,
Right.
because that was a really, really horrible time for our people. So to hear a black man say, and I think that's what just took me back in terms of when he was saying, you know, when he said slavery was a choice, I was done right there.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna even lie.
Yeah.
I was, it caught me off guard.
Yeah.
At that point, I was like, you know, by him being a black man and him, you know, him saying that slavery was a choice, I was done right there.
Yeah.
That was actually enough for me.
Well, I wasn't even gonna read the video. I watched the video. I sent it. He's like, well, "What did you think?" I was just like, "Really?" So let me see. Really, because Kanye is Kanye.
But that's why
And
Courtney
and
said.
He is a free thinker, which is fine.
but
But
no,
I was done when he made that statement.
If you notice, the video only shows you what's going to make you throw the phone and be like, "This lost his mind." Literally,
everybody was doing their
it was
job.
strategic.
The
Everybody
media was
did
doing what they were
everything they were supposed to do.
Kanye did
I mean,
what
that's
he was
just what it
supposed to
is.
do.
If that's what they played and they did all these edits and cuts, then that's just what it is.
Right.
The statement he made, I was done.
Like I said, they
I
did their
watched the
job.
video with Charlamagne.
That's what media is supposed to do.
So they talked about it.
They
And
could
then-
clip something we said today
Right.
and be like, "Did you hear this?"
Well, yeah, of course.
But then you're sitting here like, "But wait, what happened to the before and the after?" You just took that
We
and
don't
you
even
took out
know
of
where, like,
context.
how the conversation started.
Kendra walking in and I'm like, and Kendra this, but she didn't hear what I said before that. After that, all
I
she
don't
know
think I
is
took
we
it out of
talking about
context.
Kendra.
I think he said
It's
what he said
just,
and he
you
meant
know,
what he said. I don't think I took anything
It's
out
the
of
way
context.
every
No, I think
picture
he
looks
said what he
different the way
said,
that you
and
give
he
it,
meant what
your
he
way
meant,
that you're
but
giving
I don't
it.
think he meant it in the way that you received it. Because when I was just like, really, Kanye? Like, I didn't want to watch it. And then I get a text, did you watch the video? I'm like, okay. So I'm sitting behind my house. I'm like, let me see. And then when I watched it, of course, I'm offended. And then I'm like, But then as I watched it, they started talking more, and then he apologized. And then, you know, he was like, you know what, maybe I was wrong for saying that or even using that as a way of making a
apologized to
point.
who?
Well, when he was on the show, he was saying, you know, he may have misspoke, you know, and he explained more about what he was trying to say. Because Charlamagne and all of them were getting on him like, how could you not feel some type of way? And then I think T.I. kind of, you know, voiced his opinion about it. He had several interviews about it. He didn't realize how we as a people,
We're going to take it.
we didn't take that well. Like, Kanye, really? You
He
said
thought
this?
we was gonna be okay with him making a
The
statement
picture
like
that
was
they
not
painted for us,
because of
he
what
couldn't
he
couldn't
said.
control
He painted
that.
that picture.
He couldn't.
But
No,
and
he
that's
didn't.
what
They did. He just allowed it to be painted.
He painted that
If he
picture.
made a
Those words
statement,
came out of
his
his
intent-
mouth. He painted that picture.
I think he
was to
said
get
it,
your attention.
but
And he did a good
said
job.
what
I mean,
he
yeah,
knew.
it definitely got my
He knew
attention.
what was going to get
Well,
his
I
attention.
think with him being skilled, he understood that he started the painting and they was going to finish it. Have y'all seen the ones where the two legs together looks like a butt,
Yep,
but when
yep.
you go closer, it's two legs? So I think that him being skilled in his art understood that all I got, like I said, everything he does, he's Mr. Controversial.
Right.
So me being in this industry that he's in, him being in the industry he's in, he should know his industry. So like I said, all I had to do was outline the picture and the media painted it for me.
Right.
So I think it was a two-part, but I do not think that it was an accident. I don't think it was an
Like you said,
accident
he
that
could
you're
not-
appalled. That
he
wasn't an
could not
accident.
have possibly said.
Yeah, it's not an
thought
accident.
that people were
he's
going to be like,
cleaned it up.
oh,
It's not an accident.
Celebrity males, especially blacks, you know, reached out to him, like Kanye. Like, you know, there's certain things that's controversial you can say that wasn't.
Like just certain stuff you
And
don't
I
do.
was
believe,
definitely one.
I believe that's why he apologized, not because he
Right.
thought he was wrong for what he said.
Right.
He tried to clean it up, but I think with some of the people, I'm sure
That got
some
on
was
him.
mentors and people that he may have looked up to, some on his level, to let him know, nah, that wasn't a good look. That wasn't
Like
how
you,
you say that.
there's a level
You know.
you can cross in this game,
Right.
and they like, gee, you
That wasn't the
crossed
one to use
the
to
level.
get your point across.
That's just
Right.
like the way that the
Exactly.
women have now made porn the way to get light. You crossed that level,
Yeah, so.
sister. Like you jumped over the, you
Right.
jumped
You did- you
over
went too
it.
far, right.
Like,
And that's
but,
what he
but
did.
look
He
how
went
it's trending
too
though.
far.
Like he jumped
Right.
for a man, he jumped over that line. Like, bro, we know you
And I
got this
think that's
album
what it is to
dropping.
me.
You
I think
jumped over
that
that line.
when he said it, I think that, you know, it was like a 50-50 thing. People are either going to be okay with him, like what you said, him being a free thinker, or you're going to be offended by it or not agree with it. I'm the ones that is offended by it.
Right. And I think there were a lot of people.
I'm not saying it's wrong for him to be a free thinker, which is fine.
Wordplay.
That does not mean I'm going to agree with what he said.
Right, and
He
he's
needs
celebrity.
to
He
word.
should know.
I'm
There's
just-
a way
It was
to
how
do
he
things.
worded
I'm just
it,
never
which
that
is what
invested
ruffled the
in
feathers.
these guys and the things that they be.
But ladies, this
Another
was
good
a
topic.
great, yes, it was. Thank you guys again for tuning in with us. This was Chatty Catties, and we will see you all next time. Bye.
Spirit fingers.
Excuse me, Beyonce had the best album of the year. I'm just saying.
On
Here you
the
go.
red carpet with liquor though. Like
okay.
everything he
Right.
does.
Any more Starbucks?
But Taylor Swift also, in my purse.
But look how
Taylor
much like
Swift,
she got off of it.
her album